If we look at both of these images, what can we see? One of these images feels right and the other doesn't. But why is that? This is what we refer to as color theory, and today we will learn the ins and outs of this topic. First things first, the basics. Color theory is one of the fundamentals of art. It is up there with anatomy and perspective. To put it in simple terms, color theory refers to the study and application of the way in which colors interact with each other. For now, let's start by deconstructing a color. When talking about colors, what most people are referring to is the hue. The hue is the purest form of a color without any added modifications. The three primary colors come to mind. But colors aren't just hues, they also consist of other things like value and saturation. The value of a color defines how bright or dark it is on a black and white scale. Colors also have a native value. This means that the color is inherently lighter or darker in value. For example, yellow has a very bright value, whereas blue has a rather dark one. Having proper values in our drawings is really important, as value provides structure into our drawings. Without proper value, our drawings will look bland and flat. Which is why I recommend to start any drawing either in grayscale or to at least have a gray color layer that we can use to check our values. The last key component of any color is its saturation. Saturation refers to the intensity of a color. A color doesn't need to be very light to be saturated. Even dark colors can be very saturated as long as they aren't mixed with other colors. Here we have a very saturated red and a very saturated blue. Now, when we mix these colors, the saturation has shifted towards gray. With all of this knowledge now under our belt, we can talk about color relativity. Colors influence each other. We perceive them differently depending on what colors surround each other. We can observe this in drawings and photos where things like the sky appear blue but are actually a very unsaturated orangey color. Context matters a lot in terms of how colors relate to each other. You can separate the color wheel into warm and cold colors. Warm colors are closer to red and cold colors are closer to blue. That's why a desert looks like this and a tundra like this. Warm and cold is relative to the color, and even warm colors can appear cool when placed next to an even warmer color. Same goes for cold colors, as they will become warmer relative to each other. Another important thing to know about how colors relate to each other is what I like to refer to as color harmony. Color harmony simply refers to how colors complement each other and work as a palette. Because as artists, we can't just simply put any color on our drawing. We have to be mindful about how our colored pieces will actually look. For this, we utilize things such as complementary colors. Colors that complement each other are opposite on the color wheel. They naturally contrast each other, which helps them stand out. Keep in mind that in this constellation, one color should be dominant while the other should be used as an accent color. We can also use color harmonies like a monochromatic palette. Monochromatics are very simple to understand. Just as the name says, monochromatics are palettes consisting of only one hue, but differing in its saturation and value. Another way to create a pleasing palette is to use triadics. Triadics are colors which are evenly placed around the color wheel, like this. The same principle of one dominant and accent color applies here as well, with just one accent color added. Now that we have gone through all the theoretical stuff, what do we actually need to do to get better? How do we study colors? When studying colors, take whatever reference image you like. I personally suggest to use photos for this because learning from real life is never a mistake. Once we found our photo reference, we can start by copying it. Wait. Here's the catch. How do we figure out what colors to use? Well, the easy answer would be the color picker. The color picker is a useful tool that can help us in the beginning of our study, but it is very important not to rely on it. Try to figure out what colors are present in the reference on your own. This won't just train our understanding of color, but also our intuition when using color. And if we train that, it becomes a lot easier to pick our own colors and have them be accurate to the reference. It also helps when we focus on certain aspects of the reference. So instead of trying to copy the reference to an exact degree, we can focus on things such as capturing the warm colors or maybe the cold colors. What also helps is to modify the study. We can add aspects that we enjoy and infuse some fun into our studies. For example, look at the study that I made. In this study, I added my favorite Pokemon, Torterra, and by just adding that into the scene, the amount of fun I had increased exponentially. These little fun aspects also help us to engage more deeply with the reference, because, well, we want this to look good. So we work a bit harder to make it work. Also, when we have fun, we tend to keep more of the information we gathered during our study. I was originally a bit hesitant to make this video, because I still have a lot to learn when it comes to colors. but making this has forced me to give color theory a deeper and in-depth look than I would have done otherwise. I hope this video helped you as much as it did me. Now go out there and do some studies. Have fun. And I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye!